Today's topic is human heart and its structure, which is from class 11th from the chapter 18th. Heart is one of the most important organ of the body. ये हम सब जानते हैं. And क्यों? Because heart pumps blood through blood vessels by rhythmic contraction. So basically, heart helps in blood circulation, and we know that the blood carries vital materials, which is very important for the various body processes. Like, for example, muscle needs oxygen, glucose, amino acids, and your various ions in the right ratios like sodium, potassium, to contract. Next, we move on toward the term that is cardiac. Cardiac means related to heart. आया कहाँ से ये word? It comes from a Greek word that is cardia. Cardia means heart. Next is your लोकेशन. अब हार्ट होता कहाँ है? हार्ट सिचुएटेड इन द थोरेसिक कैविटी इन बिटवीन टू लंग्स. ठीक है, दो लंग्स के बीच में. इट मोर tilted towards your left side. That's why the left side lung is smaller because heart ने space occupy किया. Next is your size, shape. Heart is mesodermal region. It is a muscular organ and it is a size of one of आपकी fist के size का है. And heart का shape की बात करें तो it's a conical and pyramidal in shape, which is more broad on upper side and narrow from the apex. Next is protective curve. हार्ट की बात करें, इसकी प्रोटेक्टिव कवरिंग की बात करें, करना भी इम्पॉर्टेंट है. ठीक है, तो प्रोटेक्टिव कवरिंग में हार्ट इज एनक्लोज्ड इन ए फाइब्रस सैक. वी कॉल इट पेरिकार्डियम. इसको हम पेरिकार्डियम बोलते हैं. द पेरिकार्डियम फॉर द टू लेयर्स है, एक आउटर लेयर, इनर लेयर. And this one, that is your outer and that's your inner. ठीक है, in between these two layer we have a space. We call it pericardial cavity. क्या बोल रहा है? Pericardial cavity. And now this pericardial cavity is filled with the fluid and we call pericardial fluid. Now, so हमें भी पता लगा the heart protective covering is called the pericardium, and which has two layers, outer and inner, and in between two layers we have a space we call pericardial cavity, which is filled with pericardial fluid. और function क्या है pericardium का? The function is to protect from mechanical injury and checks overstretch. And the function of pericardial fluid is to moist the heart and free movement of the heart and less friction between your heart wall and your tissues. Next we move on towards your structure. Structure में there is your external and your internal structure. First we are going to talk on external structure. External structure means outer look क्या है. Like if we see the heart, तो externally कैसा दिख रहा है? What we are going to see is there is two pump. Okay, in heart there is two pump. First one is your auricle, next one is your ventricle. Okay, the auricle is the small part and it is the large part. This is small part and this is the large part. Then the auricle is on the upper side, you can see the upper side, and the ventricle is on the lower side. Okay. The auricle and ventricle are demarcated externally. You can see the demarcated externally by coronary circulus. ये देखिए, ये coronary circulus, you can see here coronary circulus. ठीक है. And your ventricle, that is your right ventricle and your left ventricle, which is demarcated by interventricular groove. So we know in the external structure we have two pumps, that is auricle and ventricle in both sides. Okay, and the auricle ventricle is demarcated by your coronary sulcus, and the both ventricles are like right or left ventricle by interventricular groove, and this is the external structure of your heart. Next is your internal structure. अब हम मेन स्ट्रक्चर के ऊपर आए हैं, मेन सारा प्रोसेस और सारे पार्ट्स यहीं पर हैं. सो इन द इंटरनल स्ट्रक्चर व्हाट वी हैव, हमारे पास क्या है इंटरनल स्ट्रक्चर में, वी स्टार्ट विद द ऑरिकल. ओके, हियर इज द ऑरिकल. ओके, द ऑरिकल हियर act as collecting chamber. ऑरिकल यहाँ पे कलेक्टिंग चैम्बर कर रहे हैं. वाई? क्योंकि ऑरिकल जो है इट रिसीव ब्लड फ्रॉम योर सुपीरियर वेना केवा एंड योर inferior vena cava and your coronary sinus. We will discuss it further. So it receive blood, okay, from your pulmonary vein, your vena cavas, okay, and then it transfer blood towards your ventricle. So it acts as a collection. एक collection का काम कर रहा है. So it does a collecting chamber. It is thin walled. क्या है ये? Thin walled. And in the auricle, the both auricle, that is your left auricle or right auricle, is separated by interauricular septum. It is separated by interauricular septum. In the auricle, we have a low ridges. That is your musculi pectinati. Next, we are going to talk about your ventricle. We are discussing right now generally, okay? Then we move towards other. Ventricularly. Ventricle. Okay. Ventricle generally. The ventricle act as distributing chamber. वो क्या कर रहा था? कलेक्टिंग चैम्बर. ये क्या कर रहा है? डिस्ट्रीब्यूटिंग चैम्बर. Why we are saying it is a distributing chamber? Because distributing chamber, because it receives blood from the auricle obviously, but its main function is to distribute, to pump out towards your body organs. पूरे all over body के organs को pump करना है, and so it acts as a distributing chamber. It's thick walled है because इसका pumping का काम है, so it's a thick wall as compared to your auricle. The both ventricle, that is your right ventricle and the left ventricle, is separated by your interventricular septum. Then your main thing, left ventricle is 3 times thicker 3 times thicker than your right ventricle. क्यों? Reason is your left ventricle, reason is here, your left ventricle pumps blood, or that is oxygenated blood, okay, that pumps oxygenated blood towards your body organs. So उसको ज़्यादा फोर्स लगेगा क्योंकि इसको सारे बॉडी ऑर्गन्स को पंप करना है. Whereas your right ventricle pumps blood nearby, like your lungs only. So किसको फोर्स लग रहा है? लेफ्ट को. So that's why the left ventricle 3 times thicker. In the now we are going to talk about the in the left ventricle we have some low ridges we call the columni carni, here, and we also have a conical muscles, that is papillary muscles. We also have a coronary tendon, that is actually soft connection, fibrous connection between the papillary muscles and the leaflets of your valves. Next, we are going to discuss how the process is going on here. Okay, like we are going to discuss valves, veins, all the movements, pumping कैसे हो रही है. We start with first with auricle. Like हम one by one लेते हैं. Like first we take the right auricle. So we start with the right auricle. The right auricle receive blood from your superior vena cava, inferior vena cava. Superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, coronary sinus. So your right auricles see blood from different parts of the body, like superior vena cava. This brings blood from your upper part of the body. This is the upper part of the body, and inferior vena cava, which brings blood from your lower part of the body. Whereas your coronary sinus, which brings blood from your heart walls. So now we got the blood. So it comes from the body. That means it is deoxygenated blood. ठीक है, deoxygenated blood आ रहा है towards your right auricle. Next thing, in the inferior vena cava and in the coronary sinus, there is a valve of Schichius in your inferior vena cava, whereas your coronary sinus there is a valve of Trebesius. Okay. So now we have the blood in the right auricle. ठीक है, from superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, coronary sinus, blood आ गया हमारा in the where in the right auricle. From here blood will go towards your right ventricle. Okay, it goes towards your right ventricle. So यहाँ से it move towards your right ventricle. कैसे? By auriculoventricular aperture. In short, we call AB aperture, and at the base of this aperture we have tricuspid valve, जो कि 3 flaps है जिसके. ठीक है, यहाँ पे. So through this it passes and goes towards your right ventricle. It goes and reach towards your right ventricle. Now in the right ventricle, the blood will go towards your pulmonary aorta. Okay, क्योंकि ये deoxygenated blood है. ठीक है, the deoxygenated blood is coming from the body parts. ठीक है, तो अब ये कहाँ हम भेजेंगे? Ventricle इसको भेजेगा towards lung for oxygenation के लिए. So right ventricle sends the blood towards your pulmonary aorta, and that is also divided into left and right towards your lung. ठीक है, towards your lungs. So by semilunar valves. So there is a valve which is helps in the passes. So this was your right side. ये हमारा right side हुआ. कैसे है? ये हमारा ऑरिकल है, राइट ऑरिकल. इट रिसीव्स ब्लड फ्रॉम superior vena cava, inferior vena cava and coronary sinus, and from here it goes to by the tricuspid valves into your ventricle. From the ventricle it goes towards your pulmonary aorta. किसके लिए? और lungs के लिए जा रहा है, lungs के पास जा रहा है ऑक्सीनेशन होने के लिए. And from so this is the circulation in the right auricle. Next, right side. Next we have लेफ्ट साइड. अब हम लेफ्ट साइड वाले की बात करेंगे. इन द लेफ्ट साइड वी स्टार्ट्स विद द लेफ्ट ऑरिकल. अब लेफ्ट ऑरिकल है, गेट्स ब्लड फ्रॉम pulmonary veins. So 4 pulmonary veins and that is your opening. You can see the pulmonary veins. ठीक है, यहाँ से ब्लड आ रहा है into your left auricle, and from the left auricle it goes towards your left ventricle. It goes towards your left ventricle. ठीक है, ये आपका left ventricle में जाएगा by AV aperture, and at the base we have another valve by cuspid valve. ठीक है, यहाँ पे bicuspid valve है through which it enters into the left ventricle. अब लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल ये क्या है हमारा? आ कहाँ से रहा है? पल्मोनरी वेन से. इट कम, सो दैट मीन्स ये लंग से आ रहा है. तो ये क्या है हमारा? ऑक्सीनेटेड है, ऑक्सीनेटेड ब्लड है. तो ये कहाँ जाएगा? ये हमारे बॉडी पार्ट्स को जाएगा, ऑर्गन्स को जाएगा. ठीक है, तो लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल में ब्लड आ गया एंड फ्रॉम द लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल इट गोज हेयर. ठीक है, यहाँ पे जाएगा, यहाँ से जाएगा हमारा सिस्टमिक एओर्टा में. ठीक है, सिस्टमिक एओर्टा में बाय सेमीलुनर वॉल्व्स. हमारे यहाँ पे सेमीलुनर वॉल्व्स हैं, इसके थ्रू जाएगा. अब सिस्टमिक एओर्टा फर्दर 3 पार्ट्स में डिवाइडेड. दैट इज योर ascending aorta, descending aorta, and this is your aortic of arc of aorta. That is your brachiocephalic artery, left common carotid artery, subclavian artery. So this was the movement. ठीक है, ये movement थी हमारी लेफ्ट साइड की. Next we have to talk about some sphincters in great vein. Some sphincters in great vein. अब हमने यहाँ पे बात किया देयर इज अ वॉल्व. ठीक है, हमने कहा था वॉल्व्स हैं, पर यहाँ पल्मोनरी वेन में कोई वॉल्व नहीं थी, सुपीरियर वेना केवा में कोई वॉल्व नहीं थी. बट फिर भी हमें होता है लाइक जब कॉन्ट्रैक्शन होगी एट्रियल की तो ब्लड बैक नहीं जाएगा. सो देयर इज अ रीज़न. एक्चुअली यहाँ पर कुछ मस्कुलर रिंग्स हैं जो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करती है एट द टाइम ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करके क्लोज कर देती है इन वेना कैवास एंड वेन्स को एट द टाइम जब हमारा एट्रियल कॉन्ट्रैक्शन करेगा. मतलब when the atrial is in contraction, these muscular rings contract and close these openings so that blood will not go back. ठीक है, next we have important thing that is your ligamentum arteriosum. This ligamentum arteriosum ये ठीक है, it is actually a remnant of embryonic channel in between your pulmonary aorta and systemic aorta. So this was all about your structure of your heart, and that's all for today.